Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm sitting outside. It is gorgeous here in Charleston. It feels almost like fall. Like I don't know what's going on, but I am going to enjoy it for a little bit, for as long as it lasts, because I know the humidity is coming back. So I wanted to jump on here really quick today because I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about a lot and kind of working with some of my clients on this idea of instinct versus intuition. And the reason I think this is so important is that so many of the women that I work with come to me because they feel they're kind of stuck in this like loop where food has become really powerful and they're feeling kind of hopeless around their ability to change the relationship with food, change the relationship with themselves, change the relationship with their body. And a lot of times what's happened is they've tried and they've quote unquote failed and they're left with something must be wrong with me, right? That's kind of the conclusion that they've come to. Something must be wrong with me. I'm lazy. I have no willpower. I'm just bad. I have a bad relationship with food. I have a food addiction, like whatever the message is. I'm gonna take my earrings out so they're not popping on the thing there. Whatever the message is that they're saying, which is really not hopeful for them moving forward. And so I really want to explain this idea really quickly of instinct versus intuition, because I think if we get this, it's such a powerful thing. It can be a really helpful thing in helping us to move forward. So I don't know if this will show up backwards on the live video, but I don't know if you can see instinct versus intuition. And so when we go to make a lifestyle change, so we go to lose weight, we're gonna obviously do some things in that process to help us losing weight. We're gonna probably have to change what we're eating. We may be adding in exercise, whatever it is, right? We feel like all systems should be go, right? We're doing something good for ourselves and like our brain, our mind, our body, everything's like, yeah, we're all in, right? But that's not at all what actually happens. And if we don't understand this, this is where we can kind of fall into some traps. So when you think about instinct, right, what do we think about? Like I think about animals, instinct, doing things that help them to survive. And it's really kind of the same thing with us. So there's a part of your brain, that instinctual part that just wants you to stay alive, right? It's all it wants to do. It wants safety, it wants comfort, and it wants things that are familiar. That's it, right? And it doesn't really care if it's the best. It just wants to stay doing what you're doing because you're alive. It's like, it's fine, we're alive, right? You could almost think of like caveman, like let's just stay in the cave, let's just stay safe, let's not do anything different. It might be awesome out there, but you might die, right? If you've ever seen that movie, The Croods, my kids love that, but the dad in there is like, anything new equals death, right? And so there's a part of our brain that's doing that same thing. So when you're like, all right, I'm gonna make a lifestyle change, I'm gonna get healthy, I'm gonna lose weight, what happens is there's part of your brain that's like, no, we might die, like literally, right? And so it sees these things as a threat, and it will start to, feel very, very uncomfortable for us to do those, to make those changes, right? Because it wants to go back to what's safe, what's familiar, and again, it kind of sees diet changes and lifestyle changes as something that could be really dangerous. And so we just want to kind of understand that when we go to make a change, it's going to feel kind of bad in some ways, and that's totally okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It doesn't mean we're moving down the wrong path, and it doesn't mean we're actually going to die, right? But if we're not aware of that, then we can feel like something's gone wrong, right? Because we are kind of expecting it to feel different. So I think what's important when we're going through this is to understand there is this instinct part that is like, no, change is bad, change is scary, change, leaving the cave is we might die, we might get eaten by the saber-toothed tiger, but that we also have our intuition. And I think I was just in my group talking to my ladies about this, that for me, one of the big things that I want with my people, my private clients and my group people, is to understand the bigger purpose for themselves, that really oftentimes the bad relationship with food or the bad relationship with their body is really a representation of something else. And a lot of times what it is that my clients want a bigger life for themselves. They want to step into a bigger version of themselves, but that is really scary. And that really what that is the intuition. Your intuition is the opposite of your instinct in a lot of ways. Your intuition wants creation. It wants to go create. It wants to explore. It wants something bigger and better. It doesn't care about rejection. It doesn't care about the fear. It's just like, let's go all in, right? And so we have these sort of conflicting things happen where you have this intuition and this feeling of like wanting something more and knowing there's something better for yourself and knowing that you can step into a better version of yourself. And it's what I was just telling my group is like, it's not this gold star system. It's not you're good or you're bad. You're good if you're eating these foods. You're good if you're losing weight, and you're bad if you're eating these foods or whatever. It's not that, but it is really about sometimes we're sort of preventing ourselves from being able to step into that higher version because we're sort of pacifying ourselves with the food. And so we've gotten ourselves stuck into this rhythm and this system that we know doesn't feel good, but it kind of keeps things temporarily okay. And so we're kind of conflicted between the instinct and the intuition, that feeling of something bigger, that something better for ourselves, and being able to step into that because it really is scary. So what I really just want to kind of offer with this is that that is really, really normal. The biggest thing that my clients have when they come to me is, I'm just so afraid it's not possible for me. I'm just so afraid I won't be able to do it. And that's such a common thing. And it's painful to think about trying and failing, right? Like if I don't try, at least I'm still holding that card in my back pocket. At least I'm still thinking, well, one day I'm going to get my act together. One day I'm going to do it. One day everything's going to fall into place and I'm going to be able to do it. But that day never really comes, right? But there's a part of us that feels safer feeling that way than like, but what if I go all in? Like, what if I really try? What if I really sign up for this program and I do it and then I fail? That's such a scary thought. And so it prevents us a lot of times from taking any sort of action. And so again, you just want to go back to that instinct versus that intuition and understanding there's always going to kind of be that tug of war going on. And that's totally okay and totally normal. And the most important thing is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are perfect and wonderful, and not being able to do these things is not because you're lazy or have no willpower or have a food addiction or any of those things that we're telling ourselves, right? It's a normal reaction to change. It's a normal reaction to trying to do something that can feel scary. And when we just start to take the action in some way, shape, or form, and we follow that intuition, that's when the magic can start to happen. So that is just what I want to jump on here really quick and encourage you guys with as a big truck is going by. But I hope that helps. FedEx. I hope that just helps you guys. It gives you something to think about. And again, just know that it's totally okay for it to feel a little bit scary. And in fact, it's normal for it to feel that way. And if you can move through the fear and despite the fear, that is when it's really going to happen. It's going to be great. So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.